What's poppin', yo? I'm here to talk about a super popular and I would say relatively infamously underpowered Pokemon, Noivern. I also really like Noivern. I think they're just like a pretty objectively cool design. But before I get into explaining my thought process behind all of the information you see on the screen right now, if you're a new viewer, I'm sure it can look really overwhelming. If you're returning, shout out to you. I appreciate y'all coming back, man. It means a lot, all the support. If you want to support me even more, drop a comment, subscribe if you haven't already, share my stuff. It really helps support all the effort I put into my games. But yeah, Noivern. So also, if you're new here, I recommend you pause the video and read the description. It's got like a baseline information that'll help you just understand the game better and be able to understand these changes better, right? So definitely make sure you read that. It's really important if you haven't already. Also, when you're done with the video, if you look on screen, there's a move guide. There's a table of contents on the Google Sheet, which is linked down below in the description. You can check out the Google Sheet when you're done with the video. Don't click off yet, because that'll mess up my watch time. But yeah. You can check out this move guide right here, and it's got all of the moves in the game organized in great detail into categories. You can just scroll through it. That's the best way to go about it if you're new and you haven't looked at it yet. Yeah, so Noivern. I was considering a lot of different abilities. Honestly, for a bit I was kind of struggling with deciding what I wanted to do. In Sweltering they have Air Late Amplifier because there's less sound moves. And they had Boom Burst Air Late, but they don't have that anymore because I don't think it's necessary when Amplifier boosts Aeroblast and Draconic Voice and other moves. It's not that it was broken or anything. I mean, Boom Burst was nerfed, so it's not anything crazy. Like, there are tons of Pokemon that are fast and strong as well in this game, or even if they aren't fast, like, they can always just slap on a Scarf or something, or have like speed boosting abilities. Whatever, you get my point. I did drop his bulk just to make him more of a mixed attacker, which is, I guess that might be the controversial thing here. Some fucking people are like, nah, doesn't need to be a mixed attacker. I don't think Noivern makes sense to be that bulky anyways, to be honest. I could see him being even frailer if he needed to be. I was debating not making him a semi-pseudo, but I do think he very much fits the vibes. It was more just... So I cheated again with I have self-imposed rules with like flavor in regards to like BST and evolution levels and stuff. I'm pretty strict with like the pseudo evolution levels, not because like it would be broken or anything to evolve slightly earlier or later. It's just for flavor, right? Like I just try to keep it consistent. But I cheated a bit with Growlithe because I wanted Arcanine to be a full pseudo because they should be like a fast mixed attacker with also good bulk, and the only way to do that was to make them 600. And I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'll do the same thing for Noivern and just cheat with Noibat and make it evolve 5 levels earlier, because all the other 2-stage semi-pseudos evolve at level 35, and all of the babies are totally fine to keep until 35. Even Noibat would be like fine. Yes, it's incredibly frail, but it's still strong and fast. Maybe it would like be a little bit difficult to use in like the 30 to 35 range, but even then you have so much flexibility on all your Pokemon, you would still be able to use it no problem. But I was like, you know what, I'll let it evolve at 30 just for the hell of it, and so I cheated a little bit like I did with Growlithe, but whatever. So Noivern, has Amplifier for the boosts on a couple moves, which I mean the main ones are just Boom Burst for earlier on, that becomes 150 base power. Amplifier, keep in mind this comes from Punk Rock, right? So you also get a resist to sound moves, which is pretty cool. But I would say the really interesting and fun thing that also requires more explanation here is Hustle and Gale Wings. So I was debating stuff like Speed Boost, but then I was like, Speed Boost plus Throat Spray is kind of OP, because you can just like Draconic Voice or higher, any sound move, into Throat Spray into Speed Boost and kind of go crazy there. And I just didn't like the idea of that sweeping through teams and stuff. But Hustle, like, I really like the idea of a mixed Noivern, I mean, even the Pokedex like kind of alludes to him like being physically strong too, and like, I don't know, he has like the body for it, I think. And I also think Draco Jet specifically is really cool because he's like a super fast flying dragon type. So Draco Jet plus Hustle was incredible. I gave him a lot of physical moves earlier to really encourage the use of that lower physical attack with Hustle. Although to be honest, like, Hustle is great in general, even end game, because while your attack is quote-unquote only 95, with the Hustle boost, it basically outdamages Amplifier because Amplifier has a much more limited pool of moves. With Hustle, it boosts every move. The downside is you can miss. However, with Wide Lens now being reworked, this thing is fast, right? 133 speed. Versus the AI, if you get a neutral speed nature Noivern, you're outspeeding base 111 and below, which is very good. 111 and below, you're going to outspeed with your Noivern. If you get a plus speed nature, then you got lucky, and then you can outspeed like a lot more stuff. But if you get a neutral speed nature, then you're going to be hitting basically like 111 base speed level, which is very good. That's very fast for the player standards. the AI is always going to have that speed advantage for balance reasons, because I mean the AI has so many disadvantages. It's nice to give them that speed advantage, but the point being is that you're very fast, so you can easily run wide lens with hustle with any move, right? With Dragon Ascent, which is like physical, Draco Meteor, Dragon Rush, which is just 100 base power. Same as Dragon Pulse, both are just 100 base power, no drawback. They can't miss or anything. Fly can't miss, and Acrobatics can't miss, so those are moves that... So there's a couple moves that will not miss with Hustle. You have Priority Aerial Ace, which is flying type quick attack. You have Extreme Speed, which is really strong. You have Fly and Acrobatics, both of which are really strong flying stabs that won't miss with Hustle, so those are really, really strong, right? And then you also get some really cool stuff like Sky Attack later in the game, which also synergizes really well with Gale Wings, both Hustle and Gale Wings, because Sky Attack will give you +1 attack and accuracy after you click it. So with Gale Wings, you get Priority Sky Attack, and then you can click Dive Bomb with Priority and spam that and, go kind of crazy with that Gale Wings. Because again, while you are fast, you're not that fast, actually, in practice. You're only hitting 111 most of the time, and even slower, right, if you get a minus speed nature. So Gale Wings is awesome for that regard. It's just nice to get priority on your flying moves. Even if it's only when you're full HP, it's pretty easy to just like either slow pivot with another one of your Pokemon, like a Baton Pass or Parting Shot Mon or U-Turn Mon, or you can eject button, which is a single-use item still, but it's still good to pivot in, or you can switch on a ground move or something, right? So it's pretty easy to just keep yourself healthy, or just lead off of it, right? So I don't know. Also, Gale Wings Dual Wing Beat is really strong. With like Choice Band, for example, that can like break through Focus Sash and stuff, and it's a multi-hit move. Very, very good, 100% accurate. Yeah, Dive Bomb is flying type by Jump Kick, so that's really cool with Gale Wings. In conjunction, you could, for example, even like Gale Wings Wide Lens, right? Like that's a priority 130 power move at level 40 if you just slap on a Wide Lens. So that's all super, super fun. And in general, I love the idea of physical Noivern. Obviously, like he still has the sound Unga Bunga, like at levels in endgame especially, he has like a brainless 150 power dragon move spammable. You can just slap on a Specs or a Scarf if you want to and just click it. And he still has Draco, which is really strong. Draconic Beam, which is recoil. Aeroblast is also Mega Launcher boosted, and that is an 80 power move that always crits. It's a Wicked Blow variant. Those types of moves cannot be used twice in a row, so you can't spam Specs or Scarf Aeroblast like you can with Draconic Voice or Boom Burst. But it's incredibly strong stab, right? So you click it once, you switch out with Scarf or Specs. Or if you're running like Agility or something, then you can, switch moves and stuff. Or if you're just naturally outspeeding whatever's in front of you, which, a lot of the time you might be able to, then you can click Aeroblast and then follow up with another attack that isn't Aeroblast. So regardless, it's 150 power with Amplifier, very, very strong as well. So Amplifier becomes much better late game. For the mid game, it's kind of underwhelming. You have Uproar, which is 120 power fighting that becomes 150 with Amplifier, which is pretty cool. And the cool thing about Uproar is it always lasts for 3 turns, so you can actually plan around it. You don't have to worry about killing yourself. It's still, you have to be careful when you use it, but you can at least guarantee that it's going to last for 3 turns consistently. So for certain matchups, you can click it and, get a couple kills maybe. Psychic Noise is 110 power with Amplifier, so that's a cool coverage psychic move. Hyper Voice is obviously pretty strong. Early game, you've got like Dismal Cry, Disarming Voice on Noibat, which are 76 base power with Amplifier. Let me check my little guide. If you look on the screen, by the way, I do have this on the ability guide. Hold on. I even have like a little hustle guide too here, but where is the Amplifier here? What was I trying to look up? Oh yeah, 78 base power, not 76. Okay, I was kind of off. 78 base power, which is still great, right? Almost 80 base power, Dark and Fairy early game, so that's cool coverage on Noibat. I was gonna get Noibat Hustle, but I don't know. Physically strong Noibat felt kind of cursed, even though like I don't know, it's fine. Like fucking Combi has it, right? So it's not a big deal. But I opted to just give it Tactical Retreat just for some utility to pivot around on a frail Pokemon like this. It's nice to just switch in, take like half your health, and then pivot out, right? So that's always good. Other hustle moves, U-Turn, Lunge, First Impression, Creeping Strike, all bug moves. So if you got Terra Bug, that would go hard. Terra Normal would also go hard with E-Speed and Boom Burst and stuff. I would love to get one of those as well on this guy. But yes, yeah, even Boom Burst. Yeah, Terra Normal or Bug would be like my most, I think, coolest Terra types for this dude. Obviously, any Terra type is cool and fun and unique. Makes your Pokemon feel more unique when you RNG it. Read more about that in the description. But yeah, Sky Attack, Gale Wings, incredibly strong. Sky Attack, Hustle, Gale Wings in general, I already covered for the most part. Even like Special Gale Wings is strong, right? I was only talking about the physical options, but even like, once you get the Hurricane TM in the mid 40s, you can run like Wide Lens, Hurricane, Gale Wings, right? Or Specs, Air/Gale Wings, whatever. I mean, there's all sorts of really strong ways to abuse Gale Wings, and then Amplifier is always just going to be a nice option, regardless if you have the strong options or not. Once you get the stronger moves late game, though, it becomes a much better ability, of course. Even without it, it's nice to resist flying sound moves as well, so it's always a nice ability to have. Also, Belch. Belch is pretty dope. Belch will give you +1 special attack. That becomes 130 power with Amplifier. Oh, I have to update the guide, actually, because Belch got nerfed to 100. Hold on. Oh, my math was wrong. Wait, what? 120 times 1.3. Isn't that 150? 156. Sorry, I lied to you guys. It's actually stronger. Hold on. Oopsie. It's 156, not 150. So there you go. It's even stronger. My bad, y'all. I was gonna talk about something else, man. Hold on. Oh, the Belch base power is wrong now. Yeah, I gotta update this because I nerfed it to 100 because it's a T. It's just such a fucking strong move, right? +1 special attack. You get a berry. +1 special attack. But yeah, Belch is super fucking dope. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Yeah, I think that's really it, to be honest. He's just really cool. Mixed attacker. Draco Jet I didn't really cover, actually. Yeah, Draco Jet is an incredibly strong priority move. Can't be used twice in a row, so you can't spam like Bandit Hustle Draco Jet, but even if you can, it's still such a good move. Even E-Speed's already great, right? Especially if you got Terra Normal, but once you get like later in the game, that Draco Jet is just so potent. It's essentially 105 power, and then with Hustle boost on top of that, and it's priority, right? So it's really fucking good. Good ass move. And yeah, overall, that's pretty much all the basics. Obviously, there's some other stuff, like a bunch of other coverage moves I haven't talked about, like, fire moves, grass moves, physical coverage, special coverage. All of that you can just read on the screen. All of these moves are changed in base power and accuracy or effect for the most part, but I don't have time to cover all those little tiny changes in the videos unless they're super relevant to the Pokemon. So yeah, thanks for listening, guys. Drop a comment if you made it to the end. I do appreciate that. And I'll be back for more coming up. Peace.